Listen.
The missing miners are here. What are they digging for?
I'm afraid that this whole tunnel is the fruit of their strenuous labor.
That gate. Has it been there all along?
Digging a tunnel to this ancient seal. Had they not been discovered, they would undoubtedly persevere to the gate.
So behind the seal there's... What do we do? We can't hurt them. What type of monster is this?
Morax, you arrive at my doorstep of your own volition. Excellent. Taking revenge for sealing me away will be all the easier.
So, the little girl is your power incarnate. But if you recall, Azdaha, this is not how we intended for events to transpire.
Waste not your words. Your life is mine.
Guys.
Beg for mercy.
As one with wind and cloud.
Gather.
Crush. More speed. There is no escape. Now you shall perish.
Shifting sand. No enough surround permanent.
The wind knows me.
Shine down.
Crumble.
Good grief.
There is so much
Beg for mercy.
for 1,000-year pain.
Order guide you. Solidify.
Opening box of Adeptitrix.
Fisher! Is once not enough? You would forsake me again?
If that is what you choose to believe, so be it. He who bears the weight of memory is destined to shoulder the burden of truth, as it ought to be.
Gather.
Wheel of Life.
Shudder. Freeze to the core. Beg for mercy.
One with nature.
Crumble.
Oh no.
Gather.
Rise.
Shudder. Beg for mercy.
no atonement.
Eye for an eye.
1,000-year pain!
Touche.
Gather!
Life goes on.
Crush. More speed. Shudder.
Stabilize!
Crush. Inazuma shines eternal. Illusion.
Lorax! You think you can destroy me?
I will have order. Stabilize.
Clouds high. The birds come.
There is no escape. Beg for mercy.
Rise.
Shudder.
Fisher!
Sacred name. Fortune preserver.
Stabilize.
Crush. Vengeance will be mine.
Into the wind.
There is no atonement
Now you shall perish.
for 1,000-year pain!
One with nature.
This is order.
Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
Shifting sands know not the mountain's permanence.
Rise.
Morax, 1,000 years after you sealed.
You should call it by its name, Azdaha.
Fate? Fate? So here lies the wisdom of the gods. Destroy all deemed redundant.
No. You have forgotten.
That voice!
Azdaha.
Huh? Kunjun?
Morax. It's been a while. Azdaha. The very same.
During the battle, you imbued us with your power.
Yes. It was all I could manage. Forgive me for concealing the truth, traveler. There were things that only became... Allow me to elaborate. I am not Azdaha the whole. Heaven and earth. Yin and yang. Opposing forces. You can consider the existence of me and the Azdaha you see there to be a reflection of such polarities.
So there are two Azdahas?
No, it can't be.
When the seal loosened, your power manifested in this world as a child. With this new identity, you were able to vent about the forces that's when it occurred to you. The loosening of the seal constituted an opportunity to strike back. Kidnapping the miners was all in aid of digging to the entrance.
The audacity! Are you insane? If you truly are a part of me,
I was another power awakened with the loosening of the seal. Too weak to reincarnate, but strong enough. I was barely conscious. I couldn't remember who I was. Only the past would elicit a reaction from me. But my aim was clear.
I had sensed that something was amiss when you mentioned Dragonfall. Had your power been but a little stronger...
Don't blame yourself. I have changed beyond all recognition. Only when I touched... It's been so long. A secret beyond all comprehension of youthful humanity.
There would be no harm in it. The decision is...
You haven't changed. Azdaha was once a friend and ally of the Geo-Archon Morax, with a lifespan far exceeding that of mankind. However, that which is the memories of rocks do not last long. Those memories that survive are rooted in powerful emotion. But as time passes, so these erosion ground Azdaha's consciousness into oblivion. Slowly, he forgot the face of his old friend, and his Azdaha, now incomplete, became irascible.
What would you expect? It was humanity that attacked the ley lines that sustained me.
This much is true, which is why you attacked the chasm, why you waged war again in the beginning, in order to open up new territory and increase production. The citizens of Liyue came to the mountains to mine. Erosion made us even more savage. No matter how we struggled, we lost the ability to coexist with humanity. Morax shared with us some of his power to prevent further erosion, but it was futile. And so, we became you. And from your will, I emerged. I am your final contract. Witness the promise between Azdaha and Morax. You can't...
No. No.
I am the remnants of Azdaha's benevolence. The echo of a contract set in stone. I harbor a willingness.
No. It is I, Azdaha, forged of elemental crystal, bearer of the weight and memories of the earth, older than the mountains and the oceans that decide.
Morax is not an insect.
A lord over insects is nothing but an insect in turn.
You forgot yourself. Nobody held Morax in higher regard than you or I. That which you have forgotten, I hold here in my heart. If you are the memory of the earth, then I am the memory of all powers under heaven, rise and fall of
A star appears within the wild. A sun ascends as bright and strange.
You are spent, and I will soon disappear. Before I do, in the wilderness, snow falls on a spring day. In an instant, it will melt. Even where it is fleeting and leaves...
No! That isn't true!
Perhaps it isn't, but it remains.
More axe!
The little girl vanished.
Are you satisfied, Azdaha?
I had to make amends. Satisfaction had no part in it. So, Morax, you call yourself Zhongli?
I do.
Well, I'm afraid old habit...
As you please.
I never did forget your gift of sight.
I hardly lifted a finger. Think nothing of it.
And yet, you could see. You wouldn't know the yearning of a blind dragon, searching for the sun. A pair of eyes from Morax.
Your power is nearly spent. Shall we get going, you and I?
Surely the pressing matter is still that of the miners trapped out.
Indeed. Hence the need to get going. To fix the damage left in...
Straight down to business as all.
So there you are. My men and I found your clues and followed them straight here. We found Mao in a tent at the campsite unconscious. It seems he'll be okay. Sadly, we found no Huh?
Nothing. Pay it no mind. Those 3 miners are over there, in that cave.
Cave? What happened?
They're exhausted, but not in danger. Don't worry.
Right. Well,
So you're taking them back to Liyue Harbor?
That's right.
Can I come with you?
No problem. You rescued my men. I'll be happy to assist all of you in any way I can. I'll be back soon. I need...
Kunjun, we should be calling you Azdaha.
Not I. Merely this body. Once I'm gone, the true owner will accompany the miners back to Liyue. Kunjun hails from a family of famous artisans. He too will be famous in time. It would be a shame for someone...
You always did have a great admiration.
Curious how swords and daggers are blind, yet their creators see so much. Perhaps...
Azdaha, I am no longer the Geo.
I can sense it.
Today I am just an ordinary citizen of
Even you met such a fate. Let's get the difficult part out.
No matter. If that day comes to pass, Liyue must prepare itself to...
And how will Liyue fare without Rex Lapis?
Even without a god above, this remains a nation of men. I was once their god. I ought to be here to witness their rise and fall.
All life is shaped and then ground away by the endless flow of time. You were always the strong... That's unimportant. Fate is ordained by heaven. You may live forever, doomed to a lonely existence. Yet, even this is temporary. When you reach the end of time, those people, those...
I do not pretend to match your rhetoric when it comes to the subject of a life long lived. I fear that the life of an elemental being is longer than any in this world.
Were it not so, you would have killed me long ago. And would not...
You've brought a smile to my face. When all is said and done, a reunion between old friends is an...
That day in the chasm.
A heart of stone is a heart nonetheless. But I am the god of contracts, and was for a time a god of the people of Liyue.
You chose justice, but did not forsake your kindness. You came to me not as an assassin, and so I was willingly sealed.
The movements of the Earth Dragon can tremble the earth and shake the heavens. With your abilities, even at my full strength, I struggled to confront you.
Hence, my inception. Do not forget that I was there with Liyue's founder. The face may have changed, but the content of the contract remains. Old friend. God of contracts.
Thank you, Azdaha.
My life is nigh on eternal. I will go on with the infinite flow of time. And
You're leaving?
if it is fated, Morax, we will meet again.
Yes. Don't be alarmed. He's only...
Whoa. That was so weird. It was like he...
In fact, we have yet to meet the real Kunjun. He was. Centuries may have passed since then, but events from 1,000 years ago remain crystal...
In our last tale, Rex Lapis was walking alone in the mountains. He heard a remote voice, unlike any other, coming from a crack in the earth.
Most of the ancient geo-life forms that live below Liyue are blind, having not seen the sunlight for an age.
The voice was sometimes sad and song-like. Other times it was loud and thunderous. The Lord of Geo searched here and there before finally unearthing a strange stone from the bedrock.
That's how Azdaha was. I answered his wish and took him above ground.
The Lord of Geo took pity on the rock spirit and carved it into a magnificent work of craftsmanship, a vivid representation of a dragon.
I bestowed him with a pair of eyes to see the world and came to an agreement with him.
With his fingers, he made 2 eyes. Quicker than words could tell, lightning flashed and thunder roared, and a living, breathing dragon soared into the clouds.
I agreed to let him live among the people above ground. But if the day ever came when he brought ruin to order, he would once again be sealed in the dark.
The dragon accompanied the Lord of Geo, fighting campaigns alongside him in the 4 corners of the world. We have a saying to eulogize these events. The crash of a spear brought billowing dust. The mountains and waters made way at the sound. The sight of a dragon bestowed with a touch the promise of rainwater blessing the ground.
A 1,000 years ago, Azdaha attacked the chasm. I tried to obstruct him, fighting him tooth and nail, down the length and breadth. During that battle, Dragonfall was born. Azdaha could sense the stone. Subconsciously, he wanted to use it to find me. Despite being the victor, I could not claim to be stronger than he. And in his heart, he still retained an ounce of goodwill towards me, towards Liyue, towards life above ground. He was willing to be sealed away, but as the erosion set in, he forgot. Even I cannot avoid it, but there is something I understand better than most. When the door opens, the greater the power, the greater the danger erosion may bring about. The millennia may come and go, but even a stone may personally sealing away an old friend. This is just one form of people abandon and surrender the things they love to pursue the right path. Perhaps this is the erosion imposed on me by the heavenly prince, that I was a god of mankind. My identity may change, but my eyes will bear witness to the history.
You still care a lot about Liyue.
Call it... I must thank you both.
No worries!
Oh? About what?
Oh yeah! Paimon nearly So, not long ago, we met a guy called... He told us about Conria and the punishment of the gods. That's when we realized that those events were connected to the person we're searching for. Zhongli, you're a god. You've lived through thousands of years of history.
I cannot say.
Why? You can't even give us a thread of information? This is...
I understand, but I must apologize. This is my contract.
You mean another past grievance? Like the incident with Azdaha? Too painful to talk about?
It was signed before it all began. I have always honored the contract, and kept my silence. You two are friends to me. I can assure it brings me no pleasure to disappoint you. But as the god of contract...
Would you be ready to find out?
It appears your understanding of this world continues to grow. There are many events of ages past, many secrets that they have been eroded by time, forgotten by the people. But you are capable of finding them and bringing them into the light. Those who come to witness will witness. Those who are born to remember. If you take the same road as that person, there may be more difficulties ahead. But as long as you firmly believe... This tablet was erected by Mountain Shaper. It names Azdaha as a terrible dragon, and serves as a warning. It's a shame. There is a fine line between good and evil. If the good and evil within him could be summarized in a single sentence,